What's going on, boys? NealGuides here. Welcome back to another video. We're going to review the SBC, Reus. If you want to see a player review, go watch Inception XX or go watch Audio, because they will give you a review. In all honesty, you can look at a card and see if he's good or not. Especially around about my experience, I don't know if a card is good or not. But if you want to see how the work rates are affecting him, go check out Inception XX or Audio. Those are two guys I'd recommend. So anyway, let's go into Marco Reus. Listen, high, medium, right-footed. 5-star, 4-star. Ideally, I'll be honest, I wanted the 5-star weak foot. I think that's more important. Of course, we all know that. But the 5-star skill moves is not that bad. But I prefer the weak foot. But if you're looking for an attacker with a 5-star weak foot, I think it's a really, really good option. Of course, he's left winger, not a central card. I wish he was central card. But if we go over to his actual card, so really good acceleration, really good sprint speed, not maxed out, potentially might need a hunter. Good shooting, good attack positioning, finishing, shot power, long shots. Everything you need for a complete striker. I wouldn't say play him as a winger. I'll say play him centrally. I think he's wasted on the wing personally. His passing is really good. So he's got 88 vision, 89 short passing. And that's what I think is actually not a bad idea, is playing him in a cam. If you go to 3-5-2, maybe playing him in a cam, or even if you're playing him as a winger or even as a striker, I think you'll make a very, very good card. You can probably play him in the attacking centre mid, maybe like in a 4-3-2-1. Let's say you got like De Jong and Vidal around him, or like De Jong and Kante, something like that. You could play him as attacking centre mid. Long passing lacks a little bit, but because he's got really good curve, he can still do those driven through balls along the side that will curl. So his passing is really, really good. His dribbling is also fantastic. 89 agility, 88 balance, 90 reactions, 92 ball control, and 90 dribbling, and 91 composure. In all honesty, you're probably not going to find much better. See, Footbin's got him available right now, but realistically, you're not going to find much better. In terms of the chemistry styles, I'll say either engine or hunter. His physicality is good. He's got decent jumping. No one really crosses though. Stamina is really, really good. Very good strength and has the aggression. The strength really stands out. And the fact that he is 5'11" with those agility and balance, I think it could make a really, really good card. I'd recommend an engine if you're going to be playing him in the cams, just to show what it looks like on Footbin. If it loads, that is. Just waiting for Footbin to load, but Footbin is not loading. But let's just say, for example, if you are going to go, I'll just show you like this. If you're going to do it on Footbin, let's just say you are. If you're talking about this card in particular, generally speaking, I'd say an engine, just very simply because he's got really, really good agility and balance boost. And of course, gets the sprint speed and the passing boost as well, and you bring up that long passing as well. As well, I would say he's actually a very good card to be using in that cam role. If you're talking about just straight line as a striker, I'd probably go towards a hunter just to maximize the sprint speed and the finishing and the shot power. I'd recommend the same if you're going to be playing him as a winger as well. It's very easy to get him in. Don't forget, we're going to go quickly over his card as well, because people have been asking me about what about his traits. So we're going to go through that as well in a second. So having a look at his traits as well now. So he's got leadership, finesse shot trait, which is important. Not the most important, but it is important. And he's got speed, dribbler, long shot, playmaker. All those really mean nothing. Don't forget, because it's CPU AI. Finesse shot's the most important thing, and he's got outside of foot shot trait. Because he's got a 4-star weak foot, and although 4-star weak foot is 85% of the shooting stats, the benefit of the outside of foot shot trait, sometimes in situations you'll try to use his right foot and do like a Charisma Trivella type shot with his right foot. So that is the benefit of the save with feet trait. So definitely outside of, save with feet outside the foot shot trait. That's the benefit of that. So in game, I would say either the cam or striker. Now the issue is that who could you play around him? Now this is the thing. There isn't that many good players in Bundesliga. I'm not going to lie to you. We're going to actually, I forgot to go over the price. How did I forget to go over the price? Let's have a look at, let's see how much he is actually price wise. So we're looking for an 84 rated squad, 70 team chem and 1 Borussia Dortmund player, 1 German player, 1 team in the league in 85 and 65 chemistry, and 87 rated squad, 50 chem and 81. If I'm not mistaken, that's around about 600-700k. Could be a bit more depending on inflation, but I think that's around about 700k if I'm not mistaken. So a pricey squad, most definitely. But maybe a card that's actual. If you got a Bundesliga squad, I think he's definitely worth putting in. And the reason why I said it is if we go over to Bundesliga, there isn't really anyone good. Lewandowski is probably one of the only few players that is actually viable. But the only problem with Lewandowski is he's very clunky. And for 1.65 million, he's kind of a bit too out of range. Even with the engine, he's still a bit more clunky. That's the only kind of downside with him. Apart from that, there's no one else. You do have Sancho, which is the guy that's come out recently. But the problem with Sancho is, number one, is A, he's got a 3-star weak foot. In my opinion, not acceptable. A 3-star weak foot is not acceptable. B, he hasn't got the best shot power. Shot power is a bit more important, especially if you're going for those near post shots and you're doing power shots directly. You can argue shot power is very, very important. That's why Mbappe doesn't really feel as good as Ronaldo. Ronaldo's weak foot feels better because of the shot power and also of the composure. Whereas Reus basically trumps that anyway. So this is the thing. He lacks the, the strength a little bit, but lacks the aggression and he lacks the jumping. So realistically, for 885k, is it worth getting Sancho? No, you're better off just getting Reus. Now, Reus, I would say the only thing with Reus is that once you buy him, you're kind of stuck with him. That's another thing. We got some other cards. We got this Reina card I'll look at very briefly. I'll bring Reus back in the picture. I'll also compare him to Sane because that's the one with a 5-star weak foot. People ask me to compare him to that. I think that's the main ones I'll compare him to. So the Reina guy, it's actually not a bad comparison. Realistically, Reus has got better shooting, but this is not a bad card either if you want a tradable version. So in my opinion, if you don't mind him being a bit more clunky because he's 6'1" and you're not too worried about the work, let's say leaving him on stay forward, then I'd say go ahead and get this card. He's got 4-star, 4-star. He's 6'1", but I think with a Hunter, he could actually be a really, really good card. And that way he's tradable. Because don't forget, once you do Reus, you're stuck with him. Remember that price-wise. If you ever look at another card as well, we're going to look at is... The final card we're going to look at is, I think, what's his name? Sane. Now, Sane is one of the cards I want to compare him to. The benefit Sane has over Reus is he has a 5-star weak foot. He is 1,000,000 coins though, right? 1,000,000 coins is a bit expensive, but I'll be honest. You could argue they're very much on a similar level. It depends on how you want it. I'll be honest, when you put let's say a finisher, because that's probably the best chem style to use for Sane, it's not the same as Reus. You put a Hunter on Reus, naturally speaking, it's not the same. Sane has a bit better dribbling. He's a bit taller as well, you can argue. I think he does have the outside of foot shot trait, but it doesn't matter because he's got the 5-star weak foot, whereas Reus needs it. So I'll be honest. You can either go to either one of these two. They're both top tier cards. In my opinion, I would say probably potentially, in my honest opinion, buy Sane first. See if you like him. I think Sane is the better winger, in my opinion, because that way you can sell him if you don't like him. Whereas you get Reus, you're kind of stuck with the SBC, and then you have to just keep him. That's the only downside. But Sane, I think, is more better as a winger, like let's say a left mid or a right mid. But if you're looking for an out-and-out striker or a cam, I think that if you want someone who's got 5-star skill moves, then Reus is definitely an option in regards to that. In terms of icon level, look, realistically, there's no really level on icon level that you can compare him to. Someone like Prime Kaka is very, very expensive. You're talking about 1.1 million, right? And I think for that kind of money, you're better off just getting Reus. So there isn't really any comparison. And the benefit he does have, as I mentioned, he does have that physicality. Not a lot of players have good strength and good aggression like he does. So if you want an all-round player, I'll say definitely go towards him. But that is kind of the review, SBC review, should I say, on this card. Don't forget, go check out Inception XX. Go check out Ozio. Those are two players that I would highly recommend. They do really good player reviews. I think Inception's videos and all those videos should be out hopefully in a couple of hours, or maybe even an hour. I think Inception gets his out and Ozio at the same time. So go check those videos out. I'll try to leave their link down below in the description. But thanks for watching, boys. Take it easy, and I'll catch you next time.